boost gauge in my upper right, which means this is definitely not turbo. So, okay, it's a stock. Oh! Oh dear. Well, I mean, they didn't call these things Widowmakers for nothing. Hey, landed it. Wow. Oh dear. Whoa! Okay. This. Oh no! There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Come on, put it in drive. Put it in drive. Put it in drive. Oh, that rear tire's hurting. We're dragging. Hello everyone and welcome to a new Crap Artist series called Survive the Flood. We're going to be playing the wonderfully cruel and heavily modified BeamNG. Our challenge will be to pit real cars made by modders around the world against the infamous Flood Escape Crater. We will be traversing a circular track that slowly climbs in altitude as the ground beneath us is rapidly flooded with the car-destroying water. Which cars can make it to the top of the crater and escape the rising water? Which cars are too slow, too fragile, or too unlucky to survive? In this series, I will be working through a list of over 100 modded cars, all representing real-world vehicles. I will attempt to keep the vehicles as realistic as possible in my search for the true king of the crater. Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Real Cars vs. the Flood. Today, we are here with a Porsche 911 Turbo S. This is the 3.5 liter turbo model. Granted, it is from the early 90s. It is only putting out, apparently, somehow 204 horsepower. That seems a little low. Okay, see, I think that's the problem. It's... what? V8? What? What is happening? Okay. Well, it's supposed to be the 3.5 for starters. I know that. Okay, 285. There we go. Okay, so you know the rules. You know the routine by now, right? You've seen a couple of these before now. We're going to set our flood speed to 2.0. We're going to pause it. Going to enable it. Going to spin her around. And we're going to try to survive the flood in a 911 Turbo S. And away we go! Feels like it's pulling to the left even, right off the gate, which would mean my controller is probably screwed up a bit, which is not out of the realm of possibility. These Xbox controllers have been really beat to hell. Not that I smash them around. I'm just a hard presser of the analog sticks. And I have looked at them in Windows a couple of times, and it does show a bit of drift, but I didn't think it was this bad. So, if you picture yourself holding a half-filled water bottle, and you turn that water bottle on the side, and the water all settles nice and evenly, right? Like a bubble level, right? You've got it perfectly level. And when you accelerate, you tilt that bottle towards the back a little bit. And you see how all that water goes towards the back of that bottle. Now that's all your weight. When you're accelerating, great. All that weight's now on the rear tires. And these effects are compounded if you also have an engine back there. So figure you're tilting that bottle back even more. Now, as long as you're able to keep contact with your front wheels and enough contact to do the basics of turning, you'll be alright. But then as soon as you let off the gas, you're going to immediately shift that bottle forward, and all that weight is going to come from the back of the car and slide over to the front of the car. And your back end now has no weight over it, and the tail slides out to the side, the opposite direction you were turning. And that's called snap oversteer. And it's initiated by letting off the throttle in a turn, which is something that any novice driver is going to do if they get scared. So to be a good Porsche driver, you have to have cojones of steel, which I don't really. So I've never really been a big Porsche fan. I like a front-engine rear-wheel drive, where most of your weight is perched up front anyway. So even when you're accelerating, you're sort of negating that, and driving the weight backwards and balancing it out under accelerating forces. And then when you screw up, inevitably, like everybody's going to do, it comes out gradually in the rear. It doesn't snap out suddenly and cause you to spin out usually. You can counter it much quicker. And that is why rear engine rear-wheel drive, cool as it is sketchy to me, and I avoid it personally in real life and in video games for the most part. I just happen to think Porsches, some of them, like this one here, just look kind of cool. They have a fun little froggy with little cannons in the hood. And I love their little whale tails and stuff. It's a fun little design. Now, do I think they should have stuck with it for like 80 years? Nah, probably not. They probably should mix it up. I'm not a Porsche fanatic, but I respect them. And successful Porsche drivers, oh, those guys are on a different level. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We'll see how much of that stays in the video. If you feel like arguing with me about it in the comments, please do. Even if you say very mean and hurtful things, that still, it gets the buzz going. Interaction is interaction. Got to feed that algo, baby. Yeah. We get it. You're a big, loud Porsche. Oh, mein Porsche. Ah! So I knew that was there, but I also didn't somehow. Alright, respect Dead Man's Turn. Triply so in a Porsche. Gas station. Ooh, she actually stuck that beautifully. Rear wheel's the way to go for that one particular turn. When you got that angle upward and all that, that actually seemed to really plant and help me steer just right. In a way that even some rear-wheel drive cars struggle with. That turn is by far the worst in the front. They scrub right off the track like every time. Just get massive understeer, or just take it really slow, but then you're in a slow front-wheel drive car with no torque, going up a huge hill. And it's just suboptimal. Oh, there's my sign. A sign. Watch out for this wet spot. I hurt myself pretty bad a couple times there, not paying attention, going a little too hard. Alright, dirt 2. There we go, high-speed rocks. Very small rocks. Oh! Okay. I was able to catch that by ferociously pounding the brake pedal. I just don't trust Porsches, man. They do stuff like that. Well, BeamNG does stuff like that. Should be Red House up here? Yeah? No? Yeah? No? Yeah? Yeah, no, yeah? No, not yet. Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot I have to do this. I'm such an idiot. I was thinking, yeah, clearly. come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Oh, yeah, wow, not even really struggling that much. Look at that! Wow, alright. Well done. Go, you glorious little frog. Just finish the job, buddy. You're almost there. You faithful little frog. It's not faithful at all. It's the frog that's been trying to kill me the entire time. Alright, and to my surprise, or perhaps not the surprise of any Porsche fans out here, the 911 absolutely crushes it with a 1093. Look at that. Spectacular. And I think it did it without a scratch on it, really. That is just beyond impressive to me. Hold on, let me closer look with a nice static suspension, not one that's like actively going 100 miles an hour. Alright. How does she look? The suspension's all intact? That's super rare. Most of the time we blow at least 1 or 2 shocks. The front looks good. The bumper is still completely attached. No ripples, no rumples. I think this 911 may have just not only survived the flood, but absolutely dominated it. I mean, apart from the fact that it was sketchy as hell to drive from start to finish, it just absolutely crushed it. I'm speechless. Mine Porsche 911 Turbo S, 3.5 liter, no, non-turbo. Absolutely. Oh God, no. Survives the flood. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, everybody.